people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
We will condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Access to our money will put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the dumb thing. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
We will condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Access to our money will put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the dumb thing. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
We will condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Access to our money will put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the dumb thing. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
We will condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Access to our money will put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the dumb thing. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
We will condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Access to our money will put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the
representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
You condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we agreed to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
You condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we agreed to?
I've always said there are
was angry. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. People's Democratic Party has announced a 13-member National Convention Screening Committee to assess aspirants ahead of its 2025 elective National Convention slated for November 15 to 16 in Ibadan, Oyo State. The committee, unveiled by the chairman of the National Convention Organizing Committee and Adamawa State Governor Omaru Fintiri, will conduct the screening on October 28th. Former under-governorship candidate Eyitayo Jegede will chair the committee, assisted by Honorable Mohammed L.S. Diri as deputy chairman, while Mr. Aswe Igodalu serves as secretary and Jacob Otopa as deputy secretary. Other members include Emmanuel Enyoidem, Olagunshoye Onyelola, Aduke Maina, Josephine Anene, Achike Udenwa, Miriam Chiroma, Felix Hayat, Zainab Maina, and Chinedu Wachuku. Fintri said the selection reflects PDP's commitment to transparency and internal democracy, urging members to uphold fairness and discipline throughout the exercise. He assured that the process would be impartial and credible, reaffirming the party's determination to strengthen democratic institutions ahead of the 2027 general elections. Ugochukwu, what do you make of this story? PDP National Convention.
PDP National Convention that is still under litigation that will be, I think, on the 30th or
Yes,
31st of this month will be when Omotosho will be deciding on the case. This is a human factor about it because you need to be objective. You need to think ahead of time in order not to be caught unprepared. I think that's what PDP is doing now. PDP, they are going through a lot. They have lost a lot of members, governors, and also they are still hoping for the better. But I have told us here that I'm not sure that PDP is repositioning herself for any serious electoral contest come 2027. They will be making a whole lot of mistakes. This is a time to rebuild PDP. And also, this rebuilding of PDP, I'm happy the names I had the name of the wife of late Tony Anene, I think Josephine Anene, and also Chiroma. So I also had the name of Achiku Denwa. So PDP is a traditional political party that still respects hierarchy and rewards party loyalty. Because those men, if they are no more and the PDP is still recognizing their widows, I think is apt for them. But this screening of the people who are going to attend the convention and also the people who are going to vie for elective positions, when we are not sure if that Congress is going to hold or not because of the case instituted against it. I don't know why they are in a rush, because those screening and logistics, assuming this particular committee starts their work before the day of the adjudication, and at the end of the day, the court says don't go ahead with that particular. What of the logistics and the finances and the risk involved that those people have expended? Hence, the 31st is here. Appoint the let these members hold on a little. Then the watch after the dedication. You still have about 5 or 6 days interval before the preparation for the convention takes full gear. That should be on the 15th and 16th of next month. And again, PDP should, inundate themselves with internal reconciliation instead of going ahead to appoint people that will chair a committee to screen, because there are a lot of grounds that are left hollow. Look at the person who went to the court. What is his grievance? You were here last week. The secretary of PDP, in the person of Anyanwu, whose tenure will soon run off, we, cried out that his signature was forged.
He did not write to INEC. He did not issue that. He said he did not issue notice of National Convention.
That letter was purported from the larger body of the PDP that he had already signed those documents before now, But Anyanwu is talking about the one authorizing.
He said he did not even.
He did not even write it.
No,
so he has petitioned DSS and the police
and
INEC. So we don't know. There are a lot of loose ends in PDP. So
now, even if this court judgment comes through, say in favor of the PDP, there is still the Anyanwu hurdle to cross. Because according to PDP constitution, only the national secretary
and the chairman. Only
the national secretary can issue notice of meetings, be it NWC, be it National Convention, NEC meeting, whatever. Okay. You understand? Now, the national chairman convenes the meeting, right? But the national secretary issues notices of the meeting. So if the national secretary does not issue notice of that meeting,
meeting cannot hold. It will be within the caucus or the NEC or NWC.
The NEC meeting cannot even hold. NWC meeting cannot hold if the national
nobody
secretary
is inviting you for the meeting.
Yes, if the national secretary does not issue. It's just like the national secretary cannot convene any meeting at all. He cannot convene any meeting at all. It is the national president that convenes those meetings. However, it is the national secretary. So the national president convenes or calls for the meeting. The national secretary issues notice
the invitation.
So if he did not offer that letter to INEC, if he did not issue the notice of that meeting, question is, who did?
So, in the foregoing...
and if he's alleging that he did not issue, do you see that NEC meeting holding?
No, the NEC meeting, even if the court grants it, even if the court grants the prayers of the PDP, who even fought
PDP
of the representation. I know, of the representation. You saw them at the court the other day. This one, the national legal advisor said he's the person that should represent, while the chairman said no, he is not, and they were granted leave to go and have a common ground. They came back again, continued on the same thread. So that will show you that even if the court of Omotosho says, okay, the convention can go on, Anyanwu still has bitterness and the axe to grind with them, given that Mr. FCT Minister is not giving nod to that convention. We know the stand of the FCT Minister, and instead of the PDP trying to add fuel to the fire by constituting this committee, because what they have told the FCT Minister and his camp now is you can go to hell, and which will not all go well with them, knowing that the person who has gone to court is a known ally of Mr. FCT Minister, which will tell you where the education is coming. And for Anyanwu to come at the middle of the road and started shouting foul, will show you that it is not Uhuru yet for PDP. Bala and the Fintri, who said they are the last men standing, and whatever is playing in the mind of the Oyo State governor, which is Sheyi Makinde, who is jostling and hustling to be, I don't know whether he wants to be another Atiku, who just want to be appearing on the ballot. He wants his name to go into the annals of history as a presidential flag bearer one time, who I know he cannot win any significant. Somebody like Kwankwaso have not even won outside his own state and gained a significant number, not talk of Sheyi Makinde. Who is Makinde that Wike brought to limelight? Do you understand? So, what I want to beg the PDP, Sheyi Makinde is Wike that brought him to limelight.
Is it a governor?
He's a governor, but somebody helped him in becoming the governor. He cannot take that away. After all, Mr. Fobora also in his statement has acknowledged that without a city minister, he will not be where he is, that he is not taking it for granted. But I now ask the question, is it now that he's realizing it? So Sheyi Makinde, who is playing a double standard in the PDP now, that he's the mega financier of PDP, I don't know where that is coming from. So let them use this energy they're using in considering this committee, Lawrence, if he asks me, to go and meet with the FCT minister. Because remember that on many occasions I have said that PDP will not die, but PDP will struggle until after the 2027 election, and then Wike will reposition PDP for whatever PDP is going to be coming to 2031. I've been saying that here, and you can take it to the bank that whatever PDP is running around to do now will not yield any fruit if Wike is not in their midst. And Wike, having thrown his weight behind the re-election of Tinubu, which will give him a survival line, will not, no matter what PDP is doing, Wike will not be somebody that will make PDP healthy for them to pose any threat to the coming back of Tinubu. So whatever PDP and the Sheyi Makinde and Bala Mohammed, who was neither here nor there until it dawned on him when Atiku left, that he now understood the role Atiku was playing in PDP. Somebody who was not ready to reconcile the warring parties in PDP, and at the end of the day, he had left PDP at the sinking level. So PDP should lick their wounds, negotiate how many states that will be left for them for governorship. Yes, they are now disadvantaged totally, and they are now in the area of weakness. So the thing they will do is that they will either merge with APC or merge with ADC in order to know the number of states they can survive with.
All right.
And then, after 2027 elections, Mr. FCT Minister will return fully to PDP and then begin to build the PDP that will revolve around Wike
after 2027
elections.
So you do not see the National Convention holding successfully this year?
The National Convention is holding to what, even if they hold it, who is remaining in PDP? What is the sense of PDP to mount an opposition come 2027? The answer is no. Peter Mbai is gone. They have lost the whole of South. Because Fubara, you're seeing, is dancing towards wherever Wike is. So you cannot say that a party that has only 3 local governments out of 23 in Rivers State is still a PDP state, to me. So are you talking about Peter Mbai that have left Odoyediri after all his tongue lashing of Nyesom Wike has met Nyesom Wike in APC?
Nyesom Wike is not an APC.
Yeah, no, I mean, they have met the same Nyesom Wike that what he saw before the 2023 general elections, and the way he was chastised.
Would you look at Doedri's defection to APC as a smart move, considering the position of George Turner and the friction between Nyesom Wike, and George Turner, and the governor of Bayelsa State, Doedri. So if Doedri remains in PDP,
he will be politically
what is the
relevant.
guarantee that he will even have the ticket? He will have access to the
No, he will be politically irrelevant.
So
remember that even before he
say
came,
that move was majorly for political survival.
Yeah, it was for his political survival.
Moving to APC having the influence of the president might help him survive?
His survival is for him to have a soft landing.
That's the thing.
He will have a soft landing.
Wouldn't you say it was a smart political?
No, it's a smart political. He knows what awaited him. And he also knew that the people are disenchanted because, believe it or not, you know that before his first term emergence, APC has made an in-route in Bayelsa State, and they recall that the marriage of the former president Goodluck Jonathan and the late Buhari. That weakened PDP totally in Bayelsa State. So Doediri made a smart move for his own political survival.
All right.
And we know that come 2027, APC that have been knocking on the door of the political position in Bayelsa State, we take the seat.
All right.
You have the minister is there, one of the powerful ministers in the Bola Tinubu administration. You have Silva. You have the man that won the election that Deodiri took over from him because of the litigation against his deputy. So they are there, and the Bayelsa State is for APC for grabs. 2027.
Very well. Moving forward, African Democratic Congress has expressed alarm over President Bola Tinubu's abrupt replacement of Nigeria's service chiefs, describing the move as unsettling and lacking transparency. The party said while the president has constitutional powers to make such changes, the timing and absence of explanation has heightened public anxiety amid rumors of an attempted coup. In a statement by his National Publicity Secretary, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, the ADC said the sweeping changes which affected officers appointed barely 2 years ago carried far-reaching implications for military stability. Abdullahi criticized what he described as the federal government's confused response to coup speculations, stressing that the situation demanded clarity and reassurance from the presidency. The opposition party warned that the reshuffle could deepen public suspicion and threaten confidence in the military hierarchy. It urged the Tinubu administration to provide a categorical explanation and focus on worsening insecurity across the country, cautioning that transparency and stability were essential to safeguard Nigeria's democracy. Ifeanyi Chukwu, what do you make of this story?
I align partially with ADC, because when they say that Mr. President is in a confused situation now, I wouldn't take that away from them. And for them to have called on Mr. President to state clearly, the reasons for which he suddenly reshuffled the security architectural heads in Nigeria, given the coup d'etat rumors that filtered in last week and last 2 weeks in Nigeria, and going by the cancellation of an elaborate ceremony marking the Nigerian Independence Day, and the rumors that we had also tied the cancellation to that particular coup rumor. Again, some 20 people have been picked. Remember that the government debunked the allegation or the rumor that there was a purported coup, failed coup attempt, but some people cooling their heels now in the security agencies' heels. It means that we could not wish that away. Then ADC holding the government accountable is why we are praying that Nigeria will not slide into a one-party system. PDP have not said anything about it, but ADC has spoken. Our Labour Party is still battling for survival. PDP is in comatose. Laurentia, I now come to agree with you. There was a time you made an expose that PDP is not even collapsing. It's like a car without engine at all. So PDP's soul and body is gone. I don't know whether they are where the spirit is there because they are still breathing a little, but under oxygen, and the oxygen is going to 5% level. So they have not spoken, and this is where you call those political opposition parties to hold government accountable. But Mr. President, I want to state that having changed the security architecture still owes Nigerians an explanation to the reason why there was sudden change in some of them. We saw the APC administration under the late Muhammadu Buhari. I think the former Chief of Army Staff, Brutai, was even one of the longest serving army chiefs, Chief of Army Staff we saw in history. We saw some of his security chiefs outlive the tenure of Buhari. And with the swiftness with which Mr. President unceremoniously sent those chief of security chiefs home is one that beats my imagination, And Laurentia leaving without questioning the chief of defense staff, his chief of defense staff, Minister for Defense, Matawale, and the NSA leaves much to be desired, because the NSA should have the intel of, or are they the people through whom they knew what happened, why they are still retaining their seats? Because if the security chiefs are gone, then the question will be, what are the NSA and the Minister for Defense still doing in their position?
That's a very good question.
That's a very penetrating question that occurred to me that I cannot wrap my mind around it, Laurentia. What are they still doing in the saddle? For there to be a coup attempt, accumulating towards the low-key celebration of Nigerian independence, and they are still in their saddle. We want to know what exactly transpired, and I join my voices with those of Nigerians and the ADC to Mr. President. This is not the one we can sweep under the carpet or call it a political, that it is a in-house routine or your prerogative. But we know that when it is your prerogative to appoint the chief of the security chiefs at your beck and call, and now this nepotism again reared its head, Laurentia. The person that is now the chief of army staff is coming from the southwest. Nepotism is still in this fray of the appointment. So we want a clarity and the reason why the security chiefs were suddenly asked to go, and some people are in detention answering some questions, Laurentia.
Now, the president said it is a routine administrative thing. You recall there was a time that President Tinubu also changed his cabinet, correct?
Yes.
So he did change his cabinet at some point, and some ministers were dropped, new ministers were brought in, and some were retained. And he would say, well, he retained some ministers in that particular shake-up.
Yes.
So probably it is also his prerogative to retain the people he feels he should retain. Isn't that
Laurentia, this particular one is not about political appointment. This has to go about the generality of the Nigerian safety. The defense of our territorial integrity. Remember that we are still battling with those security chiefs. Mr. President can come up with any narrative that the war on insurgency and the herdsmen is unabated. He has to say something, because he has given them all the assistance that they need. Recall that a few months ago he sat with them and they had a meeting and he appraised their service so far, and they talked about the new what do you call it? The new leg of their operational strategy that they're using to curtail those bandits and Boko Haram and ISWAP. He gave them thumbs up, and what now led to him unceremoniously dismissing them without any word to Nigerians. And that goes a long way to show us that either there is an external threat or there is internal incursion So something must be a reason why a president will wake up one day and sack his security chiefs.
Well, one would say to a large extent, in line with the rumors of the alleged coup,
Yes.
like you have mentioned, one would say that even if this checkup was going to happen, because there were security concerns and the allegations of a failed coup, probably the government should, address Nigerians in order to douse tensions. ADC is saying that this shake-up by the president without clear explanation is giving credence to the possibility that that coup, that failed coup, were they true? Did they actually happen? Now you've brought a fresh perspective. Why is it that the chief of defense intelligence, why wasn't he sacked as well?
Yes.
Why wasn't he sacked as well?
For defense. And then SA.
Why weren't they sacked as well? Because when you're looking at this, how did this, if let's just say, if these rumors were true and all of that, how were these alleged plotters even able to plot for a while, close to the time of execution before it leaked? How come the chief of defense intelligence, he's the head of intelligence
in Nigeria
for defense in Nigeria, and he's still sitting. So, and but then it's at the discretion of the president.
Yes, but you could also remember that why the Nigerian police quickly went to court to curtail the Free Nnamdi Kanu now protests. We can now see why they try to restrict the protesters to some areas, because Laurentia, from what I heard, that in this military circle, the coup is planned in stages. There could be other underground, remnants that are the plan B set of them. So they didn't want them to breach the security parameters in the name of protest. Whatever freedom you have to protest, we are also asked to protect the territorial integrity and defend the government, which for me is apt because of the rumors and the way coups are planned. If you take time to understand it, you find out that those people, even when IBB was still on the saddle, you hear sometimes they say Oka's boys are still around. They will always use it to threaten IBB then. Though despite the fact that Oka has been caught, but there are remnants, like you said. So who knows those who have planned the coup? And remember that the unnamed governor from the south, which they said is a financier, has not been named. And nobody has picked him up. So does it mean that the intel that we got did not specify the former governor for the security agencies to pick him up and for questioning? Or are we speculating? Or is there something another person said? Leko just said that, is it not a ploy to clamp down on some voices that are against Mr. President, re-election, especially in the South or somewhere else? So the Mr. President also has a lot of things, because a lot of speculations are going on, Laurentia, as I speak with you. So Mr. President has to come and clarify. Despite the fact that he also has to protect himself first to be alive, because he has to work with the people he trusts, like his main mention in our first topic. So Mr. President is now appointing those he can trust and those he can feel protected, because his office has to be protected first. Even when the national integrity, when the national territorial is being threatened, the office of the Mr. President must be seen to be protected at all times, and that is what he has done. And it is apt for him to have acted swiftly, not minding the back and forth, like we are saying it, but he owes us an explanation.
All right, very well. Factional Labour Party National Chairman, Comrade Julius Abure, has congratulated Professor Joash Amupitan on his appointment as chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, urging him to uphold the rule of law and comply with court orders. In a letter dated October 24, Abure described the appointment as well-deserved, commending President Bola Tinubu for selecting a legal scholar known for integrity and competence. Abure praised Amupitan's performance during his Senate screening, noting that Nigerians were impressed by his grasp of electoral challenges. He also lauded the former acting INEC chairman for attempting to correct what he termed past infractions against the Labour Party, expressing hope that Amupitan will continue in that spirit of fairness and reform. The Labour Party factional leader appealed to the new INEC boss to obey existing court judgments recognizing his leadership and to reinstate Labour Party candidates in the forthcoming FCT Council elections. He expressed confidence that Amupitan's tenure will promote justice, transparency, and strengthen Nigeria's democratic institutions. Ugochukwu, what do you make of this story?
Laurentia, I don't know that the Labour Party is still grappling with this factional crisis. That means, like I told you, whatever they blame APC or not, I think I just pray we'll get to the other of our discussion. See, when someone has not mended his bed very well, you lie it the way it is. They are talking about APC, people defecting, politics and forming of political parties are for the purpose of winning elections. You are not a social club. You are not a community meeting where you gather money and put up for projects that can take 10 years. Political parties, look at what ADC is doing. ADC, they are preparing grounds. You know, they are talking less now. They are talking less.
ADC?
Yes, ADC. They are, I mean, about putting out what they are doing and how they are galvanizing themselves. Apart from holding opinions on the national issues, like the one we just discussed. Yes, about their strength and strategy. That is what you expect of a party that want to, because the political atmosphere they are coming into is not smiling, and the APC is not sleeping on their oars. APC is not sleeping. They are making a strategic effort. Not saying that we have gotten this one, let us relax, it's Uhuru. APC know that it is not Uhuru, because the next thing now they are going to do after these political gladiators are aligned with them is to see how they pacify the Nigerian people. Take it, 2026, you see what APC administration is going to do. You have to pacify. Many people are now coming up to say prices of food are coming down and all that and all that. This is a calculated strategy that APC is using. Because all those other dissenting voices in those political parties are banking on the Nigerian people, what we are passing through right now. But what of Laurentia? If Mr. President decide to hinge the next budget on alleviating the suffering of the Nigerian masses, we'll be singing a new song. That is politics. But get those people to you, knowing that you have the strength, you are also pacifying the people, so nobody will talk about rigging of election. Because believe you me, once Nigerians can buy rice at 25,000, 30,000 now, they begin to sing a new song. And Tinubu has paved the way for himself to coast home. So the Labour Party that should be concerned about the strength of what I have said, that Abure would have written his name in gold, to have been an unknown figure who came at a time of political journey or in Nigeria 2023 and made a statement with relatively an unknown party without structure. In Nigeria, he would have written his name in gold, step aside. And then he would have been a repository of source where people will be consulting him. How did you do it? Where even APC today would have even been beckoning on him to join them. How did this master stroke you played, how did it go? How did you manage to get to that height? But no, he want to pull himself down. Integrity, as they're talking about Josh Amupoten, is not on the pages of newspaper, it's end. We are going to see his integrity put to test in Anambra on November 8th. when Nigerians will be saying the arrival of material, the workability of this one, and the final collection of result and announcement. That is when we will be putting his litmus test. Integrity is not about the litany of certificates he's parading, Laurentia, so to say. So, Abudu, who is coming out with I thought that you took time here to read the true copy, the CTC of the outcome of the Supreme Court judgment on the leadership of Labour Party. Why has Abudu not gone to rest and making sure that this party is given a lifeline? He's doing this to his own discredit, if you ask me, because at the end of the day, going by the Supreme Court judgment, he has lost his relevance in holding to that chairmanship position of Labour Party. So whatever he has to do now is to liaise with the Nenadi Esther Usman's faction and make sure that a life is bred on this party to see if they can retain Abia State. If they can retain Abia State. If Oti will say that this party has an oxygen for me to run, because believe you me, any party that Oti wants to align with now, we grab him with both hands to make sure that they have a lifeline. So let him stop pulling down this and coming to use this his rhetorics to welcome Joash Putin will not fly. Right. It will not fly, but rather it will put a dent on him. Maybe, probably, we have forgotten him for a long time. He wants to just use this as a resurrection of his name in the Nigerian political space. I mean Julius Abure, in order to welcome, because if he has written to Amopoten congratulating him on what level, but he has not tied it to the leadership also, and what judgment is he talking about that Amopoten should now act on the judgment favorable to him or favorable to the larger Labour Party as a political party.
Right, very well. National Assembly Joint Committee on Constitution Review has approved the creation of an additional state in the southeast, bringing the region's total to 6. The decision was made during a 2-day retreat in Lagos, where lawmakers reviewed 55 proposals for new states across the country. The approval marks a major milestone in addressing the region's long-standing demand for equity and balance in Nigeria's geopolitical structure. The session, chaired by Deputy Senate President Barau Jibrin and co-chaired by Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu, saw members unanimously endorse the motion moved by Senator Abdul Ningi and seconded by Honorable Ibrahim Isiaka. Kalu, a strong advocate of the proposal, said the move was guided by fairness and justice, ensuring the Southeast is at par with other regions that have 6 or 7 states. The committee also set up a subcommittee to further consider proposals for new states and local government areas nationwide, noting that 278 requests were submitted. Jibrin urged members to lobby for support across the National Assembly and state assemblies to ensure the new state's creation scales through the final voting phase. Ugochukwu, what do you make of this story?
Laurentia, this has been a recurring decimal in the Nigerian political space. And when I say that, I mean that state creation back and forth is not something that we started talking about today. And if you go by the other National Assembly members, maybe the 8th, 7th National Assembly that made concerted efforts in order to make sure that state creation was brought apart, did not fly, given the reason that most of those politically exposed persons, it became something that they want for personal aggrandizement. You know, when you want your place to be carved out as a state, this other person is clamoring for a state, but truly you know where those states can be carved out from for equity to reign supreme. Now, when you talk about granting Southeast one more state, in my own view, Laurentia, in as much as it's a welcome development, it would have been fair, very fair enough, to take in the federal character and equity into consideration.
Okay. Before
now. In one state is still, one geopolitical zone is still having 7 states. And when you talk about these 7 states, it is still an imbalance. When you go to the National Assembly, those from that political, geographical location still have an upper hand in whatever we are doing here. So why not create 2 states in the Southeast and create 1 other state in the other 4 geopolitical zones that hitherto are having 6 already, and bring it apart to 7 all. This would make for equity, justice, fairness in line with the federal character. So this one they are doing now, tomorrow people will still be clamoring for equitable state creation. Because whatever you're talking about politics is a game of number. And whichever one, even if with one, and you, that is why when you go to parliamentary, you find out that the vice president becomes a member of the parliament in order to decide the votes. But in the case of Nigeria, even if it's one person from one geopolitical zone or one zone, call it south or north dichotomy, and they are now using that to, have more political strength in anything that will be decided by vote, is still an illegality. It's still a very strong illegality that we will not allow to fly. Another thing that tickled my fancy is when they were talking about that the National Assembly will reach out to the state houses of assemblies in order to let this fly. You know that the framers of our constitution made it completely impossible for a civilian government to create a state. Because if you have to go through the whole state, those 2/3, whereby the thing did not scale the 2/3, what are they going to do? So in the reforming of the constitution, they should also look at that section that have made it practically impossible for there to be a state creation. That's why the 7th assembly failed, 8th assembly failed. But I just pray that their own will fly. If they use, like APC has majority of the states now, they control them, so they could leverage on that in order to get the required 2/3 from the states' houses of assemblies in order to let this fly. But in as much as we welcome it as a welcome development for an additional say, we are not begging for it. The Southeast are not begging for it. It's our right for there to be equity. And even if this comes, Laurentia, do you know how much billions of naira that have been denied the Southeast over time by the result of this inadequacy that was clearly politically orchestrated to disenfranchise and marginalize the Southeast. So what I'm saying is that let them go back and make it 7-7 so that we stand apart.
All right.
That is my stand. Let them go about, look at the other 4, grant them one states each, look at Southeast, give us 2 more states to bring it apart. If not, there is still in inequity, there is still imbalance, and there is still another place that the North, the truth must be told, that the North is still holding the whole nation to the jugular.
All right. Thank you very much, Ugochukwu Ifanichukwu. It's a pleasure having you today. Thank you very much.
Laurentia, thank you, Reverse people. And we are back, and I'm happy. And I want to also thank all my brothers that have held the ground while I was absent. I say kudos to them. We will not be tired of talking about the development and progress of our nation and state, Rivers State.
Of course, thank you so much, our viewers, for also staying connected to us. And this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. We are open for sponsorship of the program, advert placements, news, events coverage, and commercials. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv, on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Also watch us on Avo TV, Niger TV, and Ifastech TV platform. You can connect with us on our ATN socials by subscribing, like and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. And on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Laurentia Ugu. See you same time tomorrow. Bye for now.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on